Hello ladies and gentlemen, and movie lovers of all kind, and welcome back to the channel. As always, I am your host, Brett Murphy, and for today's video, it is going to be another Godlike 2 Not Quite, which is essentially just my version of a tier video. And I am going to be tiering every live-action Batsuit. So yes, of course, another Bat-themed video for this very much so Bat-themed month to celebrate the release of The Batman, with Robert Pattinson giving us a brand new live-action Batsuit to place on the list. So how does it compare to countless other variations? Well, we're about to find out. Before I start the tiering process, I just wanted to let you all know that I have an entire playlist dedicated to all of my Godlike 2 Not Quite tier videos. So be sure to check that out, and I guarantee you'll find something you like. And so, without further ado, let's hop right into things. Alright, so as always with these Godlike 2 Not Quite videos, I like to go through my tiers first just to make sure that we're all on the same page. Because as you might have noticed, my tiers are named a little bit differently from the norm, from what everyone else has. So I'll go through them right quick just to, again, make sure that everyone has an understanding. I mean, it is pretty basic enough as is, but just so we're all clear. So the first top one there is Godlike, which is your S tier, your God tier, the best of the best. Under that is Awesome Sauce, replacing the A tier, Good as Gold, replacing the B tier, Quite Alright, replacing the C tier, Super Matte, replacing that traditional D tier, and finally, Rock Bottom, replacing that F tier. So of course now we can hop right into it, and the first one up on our list is Ben Affleck's Bat Armor from Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, the one that he wears in that final fight with Superman. And honestly, the first one on the list is going straight into the Godlike tier. Look, I adore the look of this armor. Not only did it seamlessly transition from the comic book pages of the 1980s The Dark Knight Returns to the big screen with Ben Affleck and Zack Snyder's version, but it just looks so damn badass. I just love how heavy-duty and clunky and badass it looks and feels. I love the glowing blue eyes. I love the voice modulator and how it sounds so epic. And not to mention, it kicks ass. Like, that thing sounds like it packs a mean punch when it is absolutely pummeling Superman into the dirt. It looks great, it sounds great, and it feels right at home in this Snyderverse. And it's probably the best part of the movie, that Batman and Superman throwdown, and a lot of that is thanks to just how damn cool this armor is. The next one is the Justice League tactical gear, I guess you'd call it, tactical suit. This one, I'll put it in Good as Gold, okay? It's not very far from the OG Ben Affleck suit. It's kind of somewhere in the middle between the Armoured suit and the regular Batsuit. It's, again, much more tactical, so it's fitted with a lot more armor. He's got the goggles, and it's meant for the situations that they're facing in the Justice League movies, because, of course, you have Justice League 2017, or Justice League, and then you have Zack Snyder's Justice League. He uses this suit in both of them, and I think it looks great, honestly. I don't want to put it any higher, because, well, when we put the other suits in those other lists, I think those are like the top tier of the top tier. We only really get this in the Justice League movies, and as fine as it feels, you know, it looks great, and it fits right at home in everything that's going on in these movies. I just don't think it's a high enough quality to be considered among the Awesome Sauce or Godlike suits that are going to eventually be placed in there. The next is the Knightmare suit, the Nightmare sequence suit, whatever you want to call it. I'll put it in the Quite Alright. It's essentially just Ben Affleck's Batsuit, but he has a giant trench coat, got a pair of goggles on, and I think he might have like some cargo pants and everything on. The Ben Affleck traditional OG suit will be up next, and you'll see what I feel about that one. It's just this one kind of lacks any sense of its own identity or any sense of actual originality. It's in this Nightmare sequence, and it looks and feels perfect for those sequences. Why would he change anything, right? And he's not going to have the resources to make new suits. So it works, but it's also just kind of plain Jane, right? They didn't really do anything else to spice it up. They didn't go full Mad Max with it. It's just his Batsuit with a trench coat on and a pair of goggles, and, you know, there's just not that much different for me to really say, like, oh yeah, it belongs with these other suits. Now we have the Ben Affleck Batsuit, just the regular Batsuit, and again, right up in Godlike next to the Armoured one. A number of reasons. One, I love the bigger, I guess, fatter bat symbol. I love the look and feel. I mean, Ben Affleck fills it out great. The dude got absolutely shredded for the role, and the suit looks phenomenal on him, and it fits flawlessly in with this world. Again, it was perfect, seamless integration from the comic book pages of where they were clearly drawing inspiration from with Batman The Dark Knight Returns, all the way to Zack Snyder's movie universe. The transition, absolutely seamless. It looks unbelievable. It just works, okay? It just works. Next is Christian Bale's first suit, the Batman Begins suit, if you will, and awesome sauce. I actually really like this suit. Yes, I know that his mobility is super restricted in this suit. He could barely move his neck at all. He had to like turn his whole body to look around and stuff like that. That's a common theme with a lot of these Batman suits. This one, I found it to be a bit more noticeable than I would have liked. You can tell it really restricts his movements, and I think that's a huge part of the reason why the action scenes were just so bad, is because they couldn't find a way to make it look natural. However, the look of the suit itself is amazing. I love the very sleek, all-black look. I love the utility belt that they went with, and even though the cowl is super restrictive, it looks amazing. It really does. It looks like Batman, and it fits in with this universe super well. That's a common theme that you'll see with each of these Batsuits, is that I find most of them really do fit their movies and their respective universes quite well, and this one is among the best to do it. Next is Christian Bale's Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises suit, and that is also going in the Godlike tier, in my own humble opinion. For some reason, it seems to be lately, like with The Dark Knight Rises, it's popular to hate on The Dark Knight Rises for some reason, and it's also popular to hate on this suit, and I have no idea why. To me, it is an improvement on the Batman Begins suit. Again, it's got that all-black, sleek look, except this time he is much less restricted. It doesn't look as clunky, it doesn't look as rubberized. He can actually move his neck and maneuver around far more comfortably, and it just looks far more fitting on screen. And that suit feels a lot more at home in this movie universe. It looks like sort of like tactical gear that the military would use, and I believe that's really what it stems from. It's sort of like prototype tactical military gear. He takes it because it's from Wayne Tech, spray paints it all black, throws the bat symbol on it, cape, cowl, as well as the utility belt, and voila, you have a grounded and gritty bat suit that very much stems from reality, set in a bat universe that is grounded in reality. And I do think it was a step up from what we got in Batman Begins. Now we have Clooney's first bat suit. This one kind of combines the two looks from Batman Forever that Val Kilmer was in, and gives it kind of like a metallic little shine to it, but honestly, I don't care for it very much. It goes back to that look that we had, that we'll discuss later, where the abs and the pecs and everything are very outlined and very defined, but this one also added in bat nipples. It's not like a very good looking black because it has the metal, it shines a lot, and I don't really care for that too much. It almost, yeah, it looks like metallic, and I don't really think that suits Batman very well. I do like in these old school Batman movies, the 90s ones, I do like them having the symbol in the middle, so I think that looks fine, but the suit overall, it just feels kind of weird to me. I don't think it's a rock bottom suit because I do still like that it have the you know, the old school Bat logo in the middle. And there are some things that, you know, it still does look and feel like Batman. I like the ears on it and things like that, and the cowl looks nice and stuff. But overall, it's just, the color feels off to me, and I just don't like how fake and you know, metal / rubbery it feels. I don't love it. The next one is the Clooney Ice Suit, and that's going straight down to the bottom in rock bottom. I hate it. Why would Batman ever wear something like this? Again, it goes back to that it looks really like metallic looking and just really uncomfortable and really awkward on screen, and it looks more like a dark blue rather than like a black or a dark gray like Batman would more naturally wear. And then on top of that, it has, you know, it has like bright silver shining highlights all over it and a bat symbol that goes right across his entire chest. And it just looks so unnatural and awkward and weird. And yeah, I really hate this Batsuit. On top of the fact that I hate the movie, I hate this Batsuit arguably even more than I hate the movie itself. The next one is the live action one from the Gotham show. And yeah, right down in rock bottom. Look, I'm sorry. I know it's a TV show on a TV budget, and I get that this was only a young guy doing this and all that stuff, but this suit does not look good at all. It looks weird, it looks uncomfortable, it doesn't look like it even fits the actor right, It just, everything about it I don't like. Now we have the first ever Keaton suit. Again, this is going to come down to personal preference. Just like I was saying, all of them have had at least 2 suits. Keaton was no different. He had one in the original Batman 1989, as well as one in Batman Returns, and there are small, subtle differences. I'm going to go with this. I think I do like the traditional Batsuit quite a bit. The OG Clooney suit, there are some subtle differences as well, and I will explain them now. The Batman 1989 one, again, had the more defined figure. He had the more defined pecs. He had the actual, like, 6-pack. And the suit was just like a very deep, dark black. It almost had like a bit of a shine to it because it did look a bit glossier. But you gotta love the bright yellow bat symbol right in the middle. The cape and cowl. Yeah, I get it. It sucks. Keaton had virtually no movement. I'm pretty sure that he said he literally could not move his neck at all in this bat suit. It does absolutely restrict his ability to move and move his neck, but at the same time, it is a damn good looking suit, and it is a very dark, ominous presence on screen. It looks almost sinister, and I would understand that this suit would strike fear into the hearts of Gotham's criminal underworld, and I totally buy into that, and I love it. And the fact that this was like the first big screen, modern age Batsuit that we got, I absolutely dig it, and I think they nailed it with this one. And now moving on to Keaton's Batman Returns suit, I'll put it down slightly. These are interchangeable, honestly. Like, I could do this, and I would feel the exact same about it. It really makes no difference to me. But the reason that I do give the Batman 1989 suit the slight edge is because of just how iconic it is. I do think it is the more iconic one and the one that is more deserving to be in the Godlike tier. The Batman Returns one, the only thing it really changed is that it has like a glider-like capability, I believe, as well as rather than having like, it's less defined, the pecs aren't necessarily as outlined, and it replaces like the 6-pack sleek look with a more, it's like an angled armor plates instead of like a 6-pack that's more defined into the suit. Pick your poison, right? Some people like the more armored plates look than they do the original 1989. I think that the 1989 one is a bit more iconic, and I think it was used to greater effect. He's less of a menacing presence, I think, in Batman Returns. You get less emphasis on him really striking fear into Gotham's criminals and really being like a more ominous figure. So I do think the Batman 1989 one for myself personally is slightly better, although for the most part, it is pretty much interchangeable. Now the 2 Val Kilmer suits. These ones are tough to place as well. I think I would go here. This one is actually super similar, despite the movie not being that great, in my opinion anyway. The suit is super similar to the Keaton movies. It has very defined, like you see the defined muscles and the pecs and like those muscles going down on the side there and like the 6-pack and stuff like that and the arms and everything. It has that rubberized look, but it also has that real, like, strong bodied look as well. The bat symbol is slightly less bright yellow, bright and vibrant as the Keaton movies, as well as the utility belt got a slight redesign. That's the first one to add bat nipples, but for the most part, it is super similar to the Keaton movies. The other ones felt a little more natural, so I don't think the design changes really plummet the suit down. I think the design changes are actually fine. Like, they're okay. That's why Good as Gold, I think, works for this Batsuit, but it's not going to work for everybody. Some people just, they see Batman Forever or Val Kilmer, and they're automatically like, no. But for me personally, this first Val Kilmer suit really isn't all that bad. And now on to Kilmer's second suit, and I'll put this one with the Super Met here. I don't think this one is really, it is a step back, I think, from the first suit that he wore. It goes for that more elongated bat across the chest, and there's no, like, yellow at all. But it's more of, like, a silvery black, and it's fine, right? And that's why Superman, like, I could probably bump it up to quite all right. It's, like, it's a tough one, right? A lot of these Batsuits are really, really similar. I don't think it's a rock bottom suit like the 2 that are down there. It doesn't need to be in company with that. But at the same time, I do think it was a step back from the first suit that he was wearing, which I did enjoy much more. As for Robert Pattinson's one and only suit as of right now, that one's going straight into the Godlike tier. I love it. When I first saw this suit, which was the leaked set photos of, Batman on the bike, I was like, didn't know if I was really gonna vibe with it too much. Then that first trailer dropped, and any shred of any doubt whatsoever in my mind was gone. And now we have the movie, and this suit fits perfectly in this universe. It feels right at home. I love that it's like armor. I mean, this dude is deflecting bullets and taking damage left, right, and center. Yeah, I know it's a common complaint that he took a bit too much damage in this movie, but in my opinion, it fits so well. It fits so well with that Gotham. It pairs perfectly with his Batmobile. It works for me. I love the more armored look. I love how he's actually able to move and fight, and it all feels very natural. He looks comfortable in the suit. It fits him perfectly. Everything about this suit, to me, screams perfection and screams godlike, hence why it ends up in the godlike tier. The last one is, of course, Adam West. I'll put him in quite alright. Honestly, you look at that Batsuit and you're like, yeah, no. But at the same time, I'm a huge believer, as I've said many times when mentioning the 1960s Batman, that I'm a huge believer in respecting the past and embracing the future. In order to respect the past, you have to recognize it. So I recognize it that, you know, he was the first one that really brought Batman to the mainstream. He's the one that really popularized the character beyond the comics. And many people have a lot of nostalgia for this one and love the 60s look. And it is super comic book accurate to that era. I believe it was the Silver Age. It is really comic book accurate to that era of Batman. People adore it, so I can't justify putting it down in like the D or F tier. So I think it fits comfortably in that, you know, recognizing game, respecting the past. Quite alright, works for me for the Adam West suit. So I will rank these suits in order. So this right here where the Bat armor is, that'll be the first place spot. And this one where the Gotham one is here will be last place. I'll rearrange them to the best of my abilities. It's super hard to really judge. I would probably leave it like that. Those first two are pretty interchangeable for me because, again, they fit in with their universe just perfectly. They feel right at home. They look great, and, you know, it works super well. So, yeah, and I would say Keaton gets third because of how iconic it is, even though I do prefer Pattinson's a bit more, but right now he only has one movie, so we'll leave it at that. Then followed by the Bat armor. The rest, I would probably leave it that way, yeah. So this being the Gotham one being just the absolute bottom of the barrel, the worst of the worst. So I think that would be my ranking. Again, those first top two really could be changed either way, but for now, I'm comfortable with saying that that's my ranking from best down to worst. And now, of course, as always, back to me. So that is all for today's video, folks. Be sure to let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree with which tier I put each suit in. While you're at it, feel free to let me know which tier you would have put each suit in and what your favorite Batsuit of all time is. If you enjoyed that video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, and if you'd like to see more content, consider subscribing to my channel and ringing that little bell icon. That way you can be notified about all of my latest uploads. And as always, stay safe, thank you so much for watching, and that's a wrap. Hey you, yeah you, if you made it this far, just know I appreciate you, and while you're here, consider hitting that subscribe button.